Welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ, your premier destination for election news and information. We are proud to present a brand new series designed to help you discover each candidate's platform. Join us where all candidates from all parties are welcome. Every candidate, every party, no filter. Let's jump in.
Hi, and welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ Presents Candidate Spotlight. I'm Linda SYNC-O-WICZ. I'm the founder and CEO of Fight Voter Fraud. We have an exciting guest here from the state of Nebraska. We have Scott Petersen, and you are running for the Secretary of State.
Absolutely.
Welcome.
Hey, and thanks for all you do. Fight voter fraud. You're my people. I'm Scott Petersen. I'm running for Secretary of State in Nebraska. I'm challenging the incumbent in the Republican primary, which is next Tuesday, May 12th. And it's been a wonderful journey. I decided to run on February 6th, and prayers have been answered, and our campaign is amazing shape right now. About me, I'm in Omaha. I've lived in Nebraska for 35 years. I've built businesses in Nebraska for 30 years. And for the last 15 years, I've been helping elect Republican candidates in Nebraska. I started a political consulting company 15 years ago and got very good at winning and turned it into a business. I sold that a couple of years ago, and I sold my print shop last year, ready to retire. And I have one mission on my mind this year. People are losing confidence in our election systems and our elections. And they're also losing confidence in our leaders. You know, we work hard, we elect good leaders, and they don't do anything. And the biggest example of that is our Senate right now. They can't pass the Save America Act. It's an 80-20 issue, and they can't figure it out how to get it passed. So people are getting frustrated. So that's a big challenge. As people get frustrated, you know what? They're going to quit voting. But why vote? It doesn't matter. We elect you, you don't do anything, so why vote? And you're starting to see voter turnouts go down. And so we have to fix that. And that's why I'm running. I want to restore confidence in our elections and our Secretary of State's office, and restore confidence that, you know what, when we elect people, they actually go and get things done. And like I say, this campaign has been amazing. All prayers have gotten answered. Our first big prayer was we wanted a one-on-one matchup with our current Secretary of State. And the filing deadline came on March 2nd, and nobody else entered the race. So it's a one-on-one matchup, and that really puts us in great shape to win big. A little side note, 4 years ago, in 22, when our Secretary of State ran for re-election, two guys got in the race against him in the primary and knew nothing about campaigning, but just good people that were concerned about election integrity. They went around the state and did what they could, not knowing how to campaign. And they got 57% of the vote, and the Secretary of State only got 43. So they split the vote. So the Secretary of State won, but he wasn't popular 4 years ago. If you think about 4 years ago, 2022, if you said, I'm concerned about election integrity or voter fraud, you get canceled off of Twitter, you get canceled off of Facebook, and you're an insurrectionist, you're an election denier, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, fast forward today, oh, by the way, there's evidence and there's court cases, and Kash Patel says, we will have prosecutions in Georgia. Finally, somebody held accountable for tampering with elections. You know what? That'll get people excited. You want to get them voting again? Hold people accountable and show that we're actually doing what we should do as elected officials.
So in Nebraska, do you have mail-in ballots, in-person voting, early voting? How does all of that work? Do you have all of those?
Actually, and that is the great question, right? So when I started running, I just knew that we needed to have this conversation, and quite honestly, we absolutely need a new Secretary of State, one that takes election integrity seriously. Our current secretary, if you questioned the election systems, he would actually berate you and scold you. And so he wasn't taking it serious. He used to just say, well, they're not connected to the internet. That's about as only answer he would give. And we all know, I say, hey, prove my phone isn't connected to the internet. You can't prove it. Right. So it's a ridiculous,
right.
A ridiculous position to take. And it's insulting, quite honestly, for anybody with a little bit of a intelligence knows that computers and software can be tampered with, especially in this day and age with AI and everything. So we have to have a system that is absolutely verifiable and auditable. And we don't have that in Nebraska. So back to your question about mail-in ballots. As I got into this, I spent the last 7 weeks, or actually 10 weeks now, going around and visiting the rest of the state. And I live in Omaha, which is the population center in Nebraska. And
Mhm.
it is so refreshing to travel around the state and meet so many good people and so many patriots. And it's exciting. The folks out there are not afraid to show their faith with politics. And the beauty of Nebraska, traveling around the state, it's just a reminder how beautiful our state is and how it is our duty to pass that on to future generations. So it's energizing. I've had more fun in the last 10 weeks going around and meeting everybody. And our campaign has been amazing. When I started, I said, we need 1,000 volunteers. And yeah, it's always you always shoot high. You don't think you'll ever get there. We probably have over 1,000 volunteers around the state working for our
Wow.
campaign. And we're going to shake it up next Tuesday on May 12th.
And they see that you would make a difference.
Yes.
And
And I
that's
got
why
into this. I'm a business
Yep.
guy, right? And what do business
Mhm.
people do? We fix things or we make things better. That's what our job is, to take something and improve it and keep getting better, right? Well, as I start to identify and think about, if I get elected, what could I do? And quite honestly, it came to me that in Nebraska, we have really a 35-day election because we start mail-in balloting on April 6th, and it goes all the way through May 12th. Well, we have this 35-day election, and I don't think the founding fathers intended for a 35-day election. I think it's election day. President Trump says we need to get back to election day. I agree. And so as I thought about that, what that 35-day period does, it really corrupts our election, and here's why. It encourages outside forces and outside money to come into Nebraska, and they spend 35 days, they send in people. We don't know who it is or where the money's coming from. They send in people and they collect Democrat ballots for 35 days. And what happens is in Omaha and Lincoln, which are the population centers in Nebraska, the two biggest, we end up losing a lot of the close races to Democrats, and we shouldn't. And there's some good examples of legislative races that we should be sending a good Republican to the legislature and we get a leftist Democrat because of all that outside money that comes in. So that is the first fix. I will get rid of that 35-day mail-in ballot period, and we'll get back to true election day with true absentee voting, and where mail-in ballots are available for military, folks that physically can't get to the polls. And then in Nebraska, there are some counties where you might live a prohibitive distance from the polls. So we'll have an option for that too.
do you believe what Trump has put out, the same day, in person, paper ballots, hand counting?
Yes, absolutely. The nice thing in Nebraska, we do have paper ballots, so that's a good start.
Wow.
But we still have the same computers and software and equipment where you scan, you put your ballot into the tabulator scanners. It takes a digital image, and once it's digital, you can't prove that it didn't get tampered with, because they don't let you audit the systems, by the way. There's no transparency in Nebraska. Our Secretary of State and ES&S will absolutely not let you audit or look into the systems.
All right. So one of the things that most Nebraskans may or may not know is that every single system, Dominion or otherwise, has already been infiltrated, whether the software, and as you were saying, your present Secretary of State, as well as not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
As you know, Attorney Peter Tickton will tell you, it's your cell phone. It's the chip in your cell phone they'll use. And we already know Marley Hornick has proven down in Texas during the primary that votes were being tampered with. They were watching it live in the system.
Yep.
There is a problem. So it's not a fantasy that we have or a conspiracy theory. It's true. And we should go back, as you said, to what the founding fathers wanted.
Yes.
We want everyone who's eligible to vote. Notice eligible, right? 18 or older, U.S. citizen, and that you are actually an elector from the particular county or district that you're supposed to be voting in. It's very simple.
And that's another thing. The number one thing is to get rid of that 35-day election, right? And that will take away that incentive for outside forces to come into Nebraska, right? Another good
And
example of that is our Attorney General is actually prosecuting a foreign billionaire right now for sending $10 million in to help a ballot petition in Nebraska. Well, it's illegal for a foreign billionaire. And you guys probably know Data Republican, correct? Data
yes.
Republican, you're familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, Data Republican helped our Attorney General figure out where all that money was coming through all the LLCs and whatever, and actually helped the process and helped our Attorney General file charges. And they've made it through the first set of courts. They wanted it thrown out. Our Madison County, Nebraska said, nope, it's going forward. The lawsuit against that foreign billionaire is going forward. So good stuff there. Something maybe hold them accountable, but discourage outside money coming into Nebraska.
And the other thing that will also save taxpayers is when you have those 35 days of early voting, the early voting season,
Yeah.
you're having to pay people during that time for all the different voting things. Now, are they able to vote in person during that 35 days, or is it just the mail-in?
Yeah, the in-person early voting starts on the 13th, a week later, but it's still a pretty long period.
Yeah.
There's something else about our mail-in. We have 11 counties. They made a law like 15, maybe 20 years ago. And one of our counties is huge. Cherry County is huge, right? And so there are people that are prohibitively a long ways from a polling place, right? So there should be something there to allow them to do absentee mail-in voting, whatever, right? So they made a law that if a county clerk on any county under 10,000 people, the county clerk could decide to go all mail-in. And so over the years, we have 11 counties now out of 93 that do all mail-in. And so I'll tell you how bad that is. In the primary, they mail ballots to everyone on the voter rolls. Now, you know how bad that is because voter rolls are not clean. And so now we have all kinds of ballots out there, and you're on the honor system that somebody won't turn them in improperly, right? So it's a horrible system. And quite honestly, I was in Cedar County, one of our counties the other night that was all mail-in, and they mailed out like 4,000 ballots. And at that point this week, only 214 were returned. So it's a super colossal waste of money, number one.
Oh, yeah.
It's a ridiculous way to run an election. So you know what? There's so much good to clean up once I get elected. I'm going to have a lot of fun fixing things, and actually we will change the landscape in Nebraska politically, because taking all that corruption out of Omaha and Lincoln, all that ballot harvesting that goes on, if we clean that up, it will absolutely change our landscape in Nebraska.
Do you also have drop boxes in Nebraska?
Yeah, that's another thing that Secretary of State, the current Secretary of State, has expanded that. As a matter of fact, during COVID, all the expanded mail-in that we did, he hasn't rolled any of that back. We still have all the same expanded mail-in that we had during COVID. So we have to roll it back.
So apparently he didn't see 20,000 mules. He isn't familiar with Wanda the ballot stuffer here in the state of Connecticut.
No.
And what I don't understand is when they have those ballot boxes inside the town halls.
Yeah.
You can't walk the extra 12 steps, give it to the county clerk or the registrar of voters or whomever you're supposed to be giving it to.
Well, actually, they put them all around the county without cameras on them or anything. So it's a ridiculous system, needs cleaned up. Here's something else and this is almost, like I say, we've had all our prayers answered, and like God drops things in our lap. And just this week, it's been a week now, or no, just last week, last Thursday, we have a famous barn in Nebraska. It's called the Big Red Barn. It's along Interstate 80. Thousands and thousands of cars go between Omaha and Lincoln, go by it every day. So if you can get your sign on that barn, I don't know if you can pull up a picture or not of it. It might be on our website somewhere, but the Big Red Barn, we got our sign on there. It's had Trump on there for 10 years or 12 years now. And it also has a big pro-life banner. We got our sign on there early in the campaign, and that's a big win because Alan, the owner of the barn, is a super Christian and a patriot. And so we got that going. Well, we had a big windstorm about a month or so ago, and it blew the Trump banner off the barn.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So anyway, one of my good supporters bought a new Trump banner. And last Thursday, our team got together and helped arrange to make sure the banner got put up. So we got it back on the barn last week. and it'll make
Nice.
news. It'll be in the local newspapers and everything. So we got a lot of good publicity out of that. But the more important thing that happened that day is that was the day after Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled that CVR audit logs should be public information or publicly available, right?
Mhm.
You guys
Yep.
saw that case, right?
Yes.
So we were talking about that at the Trump banner installation, and one of my neighbors was there, and that triggered an idea. It's like, you know what? We need to sue our Secretary of State because he doesn't make our CVR audit logs available, and it gets better. Robert Bohr, who ran against Bob Evans 4 years ago, is helping our team. He was at the barn, and he brought over a video, and I might even show, I'll send it to you because you'll be shocked, a video of the Secretary of State election deputy. He gets a deputy in charge of elections. The deputy was testifying or in front of the Lancaster County Board, which is Lincoln, and they were asking about CVR audit logs. And he was saying, we don't let our county clerks turn those on. We tell them not to turn those on because if they turn them on, then it's a record and then you have to give it to the public. So they actually don't do the CVRs. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And it's like, he just said that. And the reason he said, it's like, there's the lawsuit right there, right? And so we're trying to figure out who can help us file a lawsuit to, number one, force them to turn on the audit logs. What are they for? The CVR logs are for auditing elections, correct?
Right. Yeah.
And they won't let our 93 county clerks run the audit logs. So there's a lawsuit. We're trying to figure out if we can get help nationally or locally to have somebody at least file that lawsuit this week. We need it done in a day or two. It should be an easy lawsuit to file. It might go forward, might not. I would say it could be a national case, right? It could get national attention. And so whatever attorney would take this up might end up having some fun with it and get some super exposure. So if you have ideas on somebody who might want to take that up, talk to Peter Tickton and see if he has any ideas for us. I don't know Peter, but I love his stuff. Yeah. Maybe you can help in this arena. It's very urgent. It needs to happen within the next couple of days. We've talked to a lot of people, and so far we haven't found the right person to help get it done. But it's a simple lawsuit. Force Bob Evans to tell the county clerks to run the CVR audit logs.
Well, I'm going to give you a name of somebody on this program that is Greg Stenstrom from Pennsylvania. His suits are actually pro se, and he has helped a number of people across the country, including Pastor Andy Thompson in Nevada, who has actually made it to the Nevada Supreme Court pro se. So what I'll do after we get off is I will text you Greg's phone number.
I tell you what, God's dropping things in our lap, and this might be another thing that is absolutely there for us. And like I say, we're in such good shape to win big. We really have two campaigns going. Number one campaign is assuming we have fair counts in elections, and we're winning that big. If we have a fair fight and a fair count, it's going to be a blowout. Now, the other one is assuming it gets stolen, right? And we've talked to everybody. We've talked to Dr. Frank, talking about, hey, what can we do to make sure it doesn't get stolen, or what do we do if it does? I spent an hour and a half with Professor Clements, and he's very sobering.
I love Professor Clements.
Yep. He was very sobering, and he was pretty much, they will absolutely steal it. Don't even think about it. Don't plan on winning because they will steal. That was his take. Now, I don't think he quite knows how big we're going to win. So is there a point where it's too big to steal? Maybe. I don't know. But we're assuming the other campaign is we're trying to get as many national groups watching this race as possible, even the Department of Justice. But keep an eye on this race. And if there's any shenanigans, it's our opportunity to blow up ES&S. If their systems are vulnerable, this is our opportunity to blow it up. And so I want as many national organizations watching this race as possible. And we've talked to so many people. Seth Keschel did a book signing for us and had a lot of fun here in Omaha. And we've talked to Harry Howery and almost anybody that we can. And we've, made sure everybody has the right voter data and everything they need to work with. So that's the other campaign we're running, is to assume it gets stolen. And then what? And only God knows what's going to happen, whether we win or we have to fight it in the courts. It's going to be a wild day next Tuesday.
Well, we want to congratulate you for actually getting into the race. People in Nebraska should be very happy they have someone who is very serious about winning and making the changes that need to be made. So before we go, is there anything else you'd like to say to those that are listening?
Yes, actually, just a couple things. How energizing and fun this has been. I'm a campaign consultant, right? And I love identifying good candidates and helping them win. And I've never, ever been interested in having a government job. So I never wanted to run. And so I always ask my candidates, if we win, are you going to enjoy doing the job? And for me, that answer is always no. I don't have any government jobs I would like. So when God put that idea in my head or whatever happened, I thought about this job and I'm like, you know what? This job I could absolutely enjoy. And I think I can actually make a big difference. So that's been exciting. Now, the other thing I do when I recruit candidates is I always tell them, don't listen to consultants, because consultants will tell you, do this, dress like this, act like this. And it's like, most people have been successful in life at this point if they're running for office. I go, my advice is I always say, be yourself and have fun, right? And so you look at this red hat, and I wear blue jeans and my pickleball shoes around the state because I golf, I play pickleball, I have fun. And so this is what I do. And so everywhere I go, I have my red hat. And matter of fact, this is my red hat that I wore as a delegate to the national convention and supported Donald Trump. And matter of fact, made it on TV a couple of times. And so this is my combination Nebraska MAGA Trump hat, and I wear it everywhere and have a lot of fun. And my campaign team has a lot of fun. If you go to our website, there's a pickleball video. Our intro video was a pickleball video, and it was fun and got a lot of good views and everything. There's a lot of good videos on our website, kind of fun. So if anybody gets a chance, check it out, petersenfornebraska.com.
Well, Peter, this has been, thanks, Peter. Scott, this has been absolutely wonderful speaking with you. We wish you luck. I don't think you're going to need luck because you are going to win the primary and then you're going to win in November. It's exactly what Nebraska needs.
Yep.
So thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for all you do, and hopefully we'll turn this into something big. I appreciate your time.